Hello, empowered woman. Welcome to this episode of the Empowered Woman podcast. Today, I had the pleasure of talking to the beautiful and bubbly Rose JUBB, who is an image strategist and wardrobe stylist with #1 best-selling books, a podcast, courses, and a new makeover show pilot called Closet Goals that launched on Amazon Prime Video last year. We talked about how she helps women entrepreneurs feel amazing in their own skin by working on the outside, all the while working on the inside, because as she put it perfectly, confidence closes. We cover brand colors, photo shoots, and all the things. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Empowered Woman podcast, the #1 show on personal growth, visibility, and profit for women entrepreneurs. If you're wanting to start believing in yourself, giving yourself permission to succeed, and let your voice be heard to make an impact in the world as an entrepreneur, this is the place for you. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Marta Spurk, and I'm your host, triplet mom, woman empowerment coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode. Real quick, before we jump into the interview, I wanted to once again invite you to be a part of the Empowered Women School, the premier community on personal and business growth for women entrepreneurs. We meet 3 times a month for support and coaching on mindset, marketing, content creation, and so much more. By enrolling today, you also have access to 2 courses on the Empowered Woman Path and my proven method for converting your audience into clients, the Engage to Serve method, all for $37 a month only, and you can cancel at any time. Enroll now at martaspurk.com. Hi, Rose. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, thank you for having me on.
I am so excited to chat with you. So I was on your podcast not too long ago, and so excited to chat and hear more about your story and how you got into doing what you do. Quick backstory: we met because we spoke on the same summit.
Yeah.
2020, right? It was right after Christmas, I think. It was like December 28th. I remember.
Yeah, that's right. It was in that in-between time between
It was
Christmas
the last speaking thing ever of the year, of the million things that I'm sure you did too, because it was the year to be on virtual events, because that's what everyone was doing. And I love, first and foremost, your work, working with colors, working with fashion, and helping women be amazing and be empowered, feeling good in their own skin and in their clothes. And once we talked, because we connected and we had a little chat before recording for the podcast, realized we have so much in common in family dynamics and moving and doing all the things. So welcome, and tell us more about who you are and what you do.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on. It was so fun meeting. And it's just kind of fortuitous sometimes when you meet someone, you're like, yeah, I'll have a call with you and let's get to know each other. And then you're like, holy smokes, we have so much in common. My name is Rose JUBB, everybody. I'm a wardrobe stylist and an image strategist, and I help women, specifically women entrepreneurs, business owners, career gals, a lot of coaches and consultants, kind of dial in their style so that they can kind of align it with where they're going, not where they've been, where they want to actually attract the ideal clients to them, basically by putting themselves all the way out there and just being themselves.
Love it. And it resonates a lot with what I talk about, which is just get in front of people, just get visible, and you help them with that extra push of actually feeling comfortable. Because that's one of the things that I notice a lot with women that struggle with visibility and know they need more eyes in their business, is that they're not comfortable on camera. They're not comfortable taking selfies. They're not comfortable basically with themselves. And that is a problem if you're wanting people to find you and want to work with you, because we buy programs because we buy into somebody, right? We like their personality, we like their style, and those things are super important. And I love the work that you do. And I have so many questions and things to talk about, but I would love to hear how you got into this. Tell me everything.
It was a roundabout way. It wasn't the normal way. I didn't grow up in any large city going to fashion shows or anything like that. I grew up on a hobby farm in the middle of Minnesota in a field, basically. Our nearest neighbor was like miles away. So, it was kind of a country life, and I was definitely a little bit of the black sheep. My first memory is fighting with my mom about which Minnie Mouse t-shirt I was going to wear to
Oh
kindergarten.
dear. So it started back then.
So it was popping from the very beginning.
That's
all
funny.
the opinions.
Mm.
But I always kind of had to get very creative if I wanted to, because we were like lower middle class. We were struggling a little bit once in a while. There was a lot of just like being thrifty and being frugal to get by. And I'm thankful for that now because I have a great work ethic. But it did mean like there was a lot of garage sailing and thrifting and that kind of thing, which now I have fun doing, like going to consignment stores and that kind of thing to find new things. But back then it felt like I was just trying to kind of get by or just kind of blend in and look like everybody else. So we had to get very creative with garage sailing to do that. And it really started working my style muscles from an early age, like looking like everybody else that was shopping all the time, even though I wasn't. So that was how that went. I just have always been good at art and visually kind of putting things together. I first went to school for graphic design and worked in art departments and marketing departments. And that's where kind of part of my difference from other stylists comes in, is that I have this background in marketing. And that's why I really love working with entrepreneurial women. And it's so fun. I went through a lot around the GFC, that global financial crisis back in 2008, and ended up visiting a counselor and being really inspired. And I was a little tired of art being my job, 45 hours a week. So I switched tracks. I was so inspired by this counselor. I wanted to learn more about psychology and basically helping women in some way. And this entire time I had been styling people in the background. I don't know why I just didn't go to, there's little schools here and there for that. But I was inspired to do psychology, went all the way through, got my master's in social science and was counseling, and then quickly had my son and burnt out. And like, I still want to help people, but I want to be home. And you know how that is. You want to do something with your talents, but you also want to be around these little people you brought into the world. So that's when I pivoted. I finally was like, okay, I want to be in style. I'm just going to start doing it. Eventually I started charging for my styling services, and it kind of took off from there after having my son, basically. So for the past 6 years, I've built kind of this local group of clients, and then designed something called Style Class. So it's an online platform. There's a podcast, there's a free group, there's all sorts of resources and books and courses and all these fun things that I don't have to be there for you to learn about the styling. You can now kind of do it from the comfort of your own closet at home. And it's really kind of expanded things. And now we have a show called Closet Goals on Amazon Prime. It's a little pilot 3-episode season, but pre-production has begun for season 2. And that's a fun little fact. I don't think I've shared anywhere yet.
Ooh, exclusive. Well, first of all, I love how you were doing something and then you did something else. And now you combined all of these things into something that you really love, and postpartum. And I see myself a lot in that too. And I think lots of women do, because it's kind of like that moment of, what am I going to do with my life? Now that you have kids, and finding the blend of everything that you've built, everything that you are, that is the goal, right? Everything that's inside of you and these desires of helping women and having this psychology background. Oh my gosh. Now I see how the connection and helping women, feel good about themselves, and the whole marketing aspect, like that is amazing. I love that so much. And especially the whole thing with motherhood. That's yet another thing that we have in common, is having the kids in my case, and then finding this pivot and finding what works for you. I love that so much.
Definitely. And I think, like a lot of ladies, that have kiddos in their late 20s or early 30s or after, I got to the end and I was like, why did I go back to school? Why did I go all the way through and get a graduate degree and like get the intern hours and do all the things just to come out on the other side and be like, I don't think I want to do this.
Yeah.
But it did all like accidentally. I wish I could say, oh, I realized
planned it all along. Yeah.
It was a few years into styling women where I realized, I'm using all these muscles that I built in those marketing departments. I'm using all these muscles I built, like learning about counseling and starting that career. Because it really does, holy smokes, does our image impact our mood and how we feel about what we're doing. Like it can really crack off the day in a positive or negative way. And not just how we look, like our image. It's our identity, really.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of interconnected.
Yes, it is. And that was one of the things I was going to ask you, is that as an entrepreneur, everyone that's selling something is saying, this is what you need right now. This is what you should, if you don't have this, you're not going to be successful, because that's just the way it is. And people believe that you need to have that beautiful website, you need to have a logo, and some others say, just start. You don't need any of that stuff. Right. And then others say, go get professional headshots. And other people say, you don't need that, just start. And for me, because I'm such a practical person and I'm such a doer, like I don't get caught up in the details. I will just go and I will do. And I struggled for a long time with the idea of get your brand colors, get everything cohesive, be consistent with your look, because people are going to resonate with that, because I was so caught up in doing. And then once I actually took the time to do all those things, I felt more empowered. I felt more professional. And that feeling, I know, attracted people to me. So I would love to hear your perspective on this, because there may be some people out there who, like me, may be thinking, well, this is great that you do this, Rose, but I don't need this right now. I just need clients. Because that's one of the things that I hear a lot. I'm sure you do too. I don't need to find the perfect color for me. I just need clients. So speak more to that, please.
Yes. Well, confidence closes. Plain and simple. End podcast, period.
Yeah. Don't need anything else.
Confidence closes. And if you feel really good in the mirror, because I often will, I preach this constantly, but I'll still get clients that pop in and are like, are leaning so heavily on my opinion that I really have to pause them over and over again and say, what do you think? What do you want? What's your vision for this? Right. Let's fulfill your vision, because at the end of the day, the number one person that is going to help her like get confident and close more clients is her. Yes. And so the number one person we're trying to impress is her in the mirror. And the number one person that's going to completely tank her business by not getting visible and, not maybe showing up in the way that she expects is her as well. So just kind of jumping into the client's shoes and saying, what would those ideal clients want to see in me? What level? I am all for completely being yourself at all times, but I've talked to you about the style island. Everybody has a style island, and you can, if you vacation over on another island, that's fine. But when you're nervous, and if you jump over to Oprah's style island or Marie Forleo's style island, you're not going to feel confident and like yourself, because confidence comes and you can uncover it. It's there. It comes from being yourself and the action of showing up as yourself, and then getting that positive feedback, trying, and maybe you make some adjustments and say, I didn't really feel comfortable in that. Okay, I'm gonna shift it a little bit, and then showing up again, that action of showing up imperfectly, like you were saying, starting, that's where you're going to build those confidence muscles back up. Because I think we have them when we're little, and they just get stripped away by people.
Oh my gosh, so much wisdom in everything that you said. First and foremost, the whole idea of you impressing yourself, and you looking in the mirror and saying, girl, you got this, right? You really got it going on, instead of waiting for others to recognize that you do it yourself, and it starts all with yourself. So that's who we're working on. And it's such a confidence exercise. So it's an investment on more than your business. It's really the whole psychology and self-acceptance, self-love. So I love that 100%. And I love the concept of the islands. And I do want you to get into a little bit more of what you teach in your workshops, because I had the pleasure of participating in one, and it was so reassuring for me. I love the idea of the island. And I think this is a good point for us to stress and explain a little bit more, because you said it's okay to vacation somewhere else when you're feeling insecure or whatever, or uncomfortable. Go back to the basics of what you like. And I think that's interesting, because at least for me, I think some people may like knowing what works and just stay there. I am such an adventurer that I think the whole idea of brand colors, why I was so resistant to all of that, and even the color analysis, is constraint. You cannot ever again, Marta, wear this color. And that stopped me from even wanting to look into this, because it's like, don't tell me this. I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah. You have a little rebel streak.
I am. So I love that you said that, because I think there may be, because people have similar thoughts. I can't be the only one. And maybe you can speak to that has felt that having a color analysis, having someone help you with style may seem constraining, and you just want to be a free bird and try different things. And the reason why I say this is because I've been using the pink and blue with my brand for a while now. And I've had people comment on my pictures saying, oh, blue is your color. And then others would say, pink is your color. And then someone would come along and say, you should have your color analysis. And to me, implying that neither of them are my colors. And that got me a little bit mad. And I was like, screw this, I'll just wear whatever I want. And then being a part of your workshop, you confirmed that pink and blue do work for me.
So it's gotta be the right pink and blue, right?
Right. The right pink and blue. So tell me more about all the stuff that I just talked about, your impressions.
Well, and it kind of connects back to your last question too, because how does style have an ROI? It does attract. When you show up as yourself, you are putting out your vibe, right? The ideal clients, they want your vibe. They don't want the lady pretending to be something else in that blazer over there. They want you being yourself. And if you're pretending when they show up and they see that, something's not going to feel right to them. Just in their gut, something's just going to misalign. It doesn't feel like you're quite confident, or something's a little off, and they scroll past, or they don't click, or they don't hop on your offer. So the reason we want to kind of focus, we often, when I'm doing workshops, we'll focus a lot on the style side, the colors, the cuts, and kind of like finding style inspiration for you. We'll focus a lot on that first, because I want you feeling really good in the mirror. Whatever shape, size, color, I don't care. Like whatever you are now, you can feel good in that now. I want you feeling that way. So then you can really kind of project yourself forward with your closet. Once we find you, we just start leveling up a little bit. And that can help you show up super confidently, because it feels like you in the Zoom window, but it's the up-leveled version of you, and it's not playing a part or faking it until you make it, because it's you. It's just at the right formality level. So we'll usually in workshops start off with those fun things, and then I always offer resources for like doing the branding, style side, and the kind of personal brand for business side. But yeah, colors are so interesting for branding. Because let me ask, did you just like, my favorite two colors are pink and blue, and I'm going to use those as my branding? Or how did you land on those colors?
So I wanted pink, hot pink, for a long time. And at first, when I was doing stuff for like logos or not for colors for me to wear, but more so for the brand, I didn't really understand that they were related at the time. I was just, I put in kind of like a light teal. And then after a while, I decided that the navy looked more classic. More mature, I suppose. And with the growth of my business and my own maturity, I decided to go for that, and it's really stuck, and I really like it. So that's the reasoning behind it.
I just like it when people have a reason behind it. Honestly, if it's like, I don't know, I just kind of picked it. It's never going to quite like, it's hard to shine your personality, and business like ours, where it's a lot of our intellectual property that we are standing behind and offering services with.
Yeah.
It's so interconnected with our personalities as well, because people are going to be working directly with us. And if they don't like the way that we talk, walk, dress, whatever, they're going to have to like watch that for a while if they decide. So they usually don't if they don't like those things. Fine. We're attracting the ones that love it, because what else are they going to do? Probably going to be repeat customers, probably going to refer you, probably going to like sing your praises off the rooftops. So those ideal clients that we're rolling in are pretty important. I like when you have like a story behind the brand colors, or like some thought. And the good news is you don't have to wear your brand colors, like even at all. You don't have to wear them. You just have to kind of complement them. And really think about, okay, put up that, for podcast listeners, I'm putting up my director's lens and kind of peeking through it with my fingers. You got to really just like, how is this client going to see this? And really put yourself in their shoes, not only just building that avatar, but thinking about how the feeling you want them to have when they come to your website or visit your social media. Do those things all interconnect? That's more important than somebody just like wearing their brand colors all the time. Yeah. And it can get a little one note if let's say your brand colors are pink and kind of like it's somewhere between royal blue and navy. It's kind of a fun, bold navy. If somebody has those brand colors and they just show up in that all the time, I mean, it's okay, but it might start kind of blending in to backgrounds, websites, the rest of them are, if you kind of like think about the neutrals are going to help pop you off of those backgrounds or wherever you're showing up, either in your studio, in your home office, wherever you show up the most, just thinking about how do I stand out off that background, even for websites and headers and all that jazz. You don't have to wear your branding colors. In fact, if you do it all the time, it starts to get a little like freshman business owner-y. I feel
and kind of forced.
Like I'm just gonna buy I did it too. Guess what? I used to have even a peachier coral color than what's behind me. And I have a closet full of those clothes from like 5 years ago not a closet full, because I get rid of things pretty often, but I had a closet full of those clothes with just my branding colors. And looking back, it was a little on the nose. You can be cool and yourself and stand out from your brand. Yeah.
Love that. So can you tell us a little bit more about the structure of the workshop? Because I know you're doing another one. Because you kind of explained a little bit how you baby steps, get people comfortable, and then dial it up a notch. Tell us more about how that is and more info so we can check it out.
Yeah. So you can go to mystyleclass.com/workshop, and you will find a list of workshops that are upcoming. I believe the next one I have is April 22nd.
Awesome.
And I like to keep the class sizes small. So, if you're thinking about it now, hustle up because I want to get you in. But they basically walk you through the style side, just like getting a little bit of information, getting your colors, the cuts that are going to work really good for you in a pinch. Like always, we can try other things, but these are the cuts that are kind of great for you. And then really working on building some style inspiration, like building an actual board with me where you're learning how to search for inspiration, how to save it, and then how to comb through that for things that might be missing in your closet. And, believe it or not, that's only about a quarter of my actual like personal branding program. So we really like jump into that style side because it is so much fun and it's kind of the dessert, and it's nice.
It is. We talked about this when you interviewed me. I love that analogy. And yeah, I mean, I can believe you that is just a section of everything that you teach because it was so detailed, and I love your passion and how you teach it. I mean, it's amazing. And I'll be sure to have the links and everything in the show notes so that people can register since there's time. Because with it being online, with it being like an intensive, there's no reason why not to do it. Because I know of people that do these assessments in person, obviously, so that they can
Yes.
test the colors out. But with COVID pandemic times, it's nice to have the virtual possibility. And I love that you do it as it's like a 3-hour workshop.
Yep, 3-hour workshop. It's always on a Friday morning Pacific time. So it's kind of a fun way to kick off last day of the week. Then you can kind of take your weekend to really assess things, maybe do some shopping. So yeah, it is a fun little gift to yourself. Like at the very least, you'll walk away knowing your colors and the cuts that look amazing on you, and just what to look for, keywords for even what to search for if you're frustrated. But also it does start, I really highly suggest it for coaches and consultants and people using their personal brand in their business.
Right.
Because just having this information can kind of help you dress yourself in the most confident way. And that confidence leads to more clients.
Yes. Well, and I remember you walked us through how to search for stuff on Pinterest.
Yeah.
So it's pretty comprehensive. You're going to get the answers. You're going to have this idea. And I love that you said you can take the weekend to go shopping and go assess your closet, see what you already have that is working, what you should probably get rid of.
Yeah.
So I love that. No, that's perfect. So I'll make sure and put all those links over there. And I didn't warn you beforehand, but I like to end, caught you by surprise. I like to end the show with a little rapid fire using the words of the framework that I use with my clients. And I would love to hear your perspective on this as the colors, style, fashion person. It's fun because everyone has their go-to thoughts whenever they hear the word. So I'll be interested to see what you come up with. All right. So the first one is notice yourself.
I just say a word
or a phrase, whatever comes to mind.
Happy. I don't know.
No, that's fine. Listen to yourself.
More.
Forgive yourself.
Always.
Empower yourself.
More.
Love it. And last but not least, transform yourself.
Over and over.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
I love these. Nobody has ever said more. That is great because it is so true. More of all of them, right? Noticing yourself, listening to yourself, forgiving yourself. That's amazing. Well, Rose, this was so fun. I always have the greatest time chatting with you. Thank you so much for having me on your show, for the amazing workshop that I learned so much at. And thanks for being here again.
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody.
How fun was that? I hope you got some clarity and also some encouragement to get your brand colors and your looks right, because I will say it once again, confidence closes. Don't forget to connect with Rose. All the links are in the show notes. Until next time, bye.